Is Haki just straight up superior to devil fruits? Or are devil fruits still better? Haki has slowly taken over the primary role as the power system from devil fruit. When we started off in the East Blue, first half of the Grand Line, it was all devil fruit. Logias had the throne. If you were a Logia, you were set. That's all you needed. It was untouchable. They had Smoker out there looking like a star. Logtown, he would have been able to clean up the entire Straw Hat crew off of the strength that he was a Logia. They couldn't touch him. Was he straight up stronger than the entire crew or even Luffy? Maybe that's an argument for another time. You guys can talk about it in the comments. I like to use Luffy versus Crocodile as an argument to prove that point. We seen the first time Luffy encountered Crocodile. And Crocodile was able to just stand there. You got 30 seconds. Do whatever you want. And Crocodile just smoked Luffy. Complete wash. Nothing you could do about it. The second time they had an encounter, when Luffy had some water, a counter, a way to actually fight back against Crocodile, we saw the power gap wasn't that different. They were somewhere close to each other. Crocodile still got the upper hand, and the third time, once again, another close, hard fight, Luffy pulled it out. Big difference from the last two, and the first one when the devil fruit was the only thing impacting the fight and Luffy just had no counter for it. And that was the law of the land. Devil fruit power rule. If you were a Logia, you're set for life. That was it. Then we got to Fishman Island. And Peckham set the record straight against Caribou. Like, hey, the Logia advantage, the lead the Logias had up on everybody else, and Haki users, it's over with. When you get to the new world, the new law of the land is Haki. That sentiment would go on to be pushed to highest of highs by Kaido. I'm not here to argue with Kaido or the story of One Piece with the statement of Haki being better than Devil Fruits. I think the story has straight up told us that to this point. What I'm here to prove is not as simple as people think. It's not just a one-for-one Haki over Devil Fruits every time. In the story, there are many, many times we've seen Devil Fruits get the better of Haki in many situations, and it's way more contextualized than we think. It's not just he has better Haki, he wins. Not like that. So while yes, Haki is in a general term superior to Devil Fruits and was introduced to us as a counter to Devil Fruits, it's not just straight up on the linear line better than Devil Fruits. I give to you Law versus Virgo, the perfect example of what I'm talking about. This is a straight up, primarily Devil Fruit versus Haki battle. Virgo Haki is not to be slept on. That full body Haki was not to be slept on. Virgo was a respectable character and had strong Haki. Law, being the tactician with the tricky Devil Fruit, he was fighting an uphill battle most of that fight and even needed some outside help from one smoker. The deciding factor in that fight came down to Law's Devil Fruit. And what can be summed up as a clash between Law's Devil Fruit and Virgo's Haki, we saw that in that instance, the Haki was not able to counter Law's Devil Fruit. Law winning that battle, being able to cut Virgo. It took a lot, took damn near all he had, but that's just one prime instance of Devil Fruits being Haki, proving this is not a linear line. There's context. It depends on how good you are with your Devil Fruit, how good is he with his Haki. It is not as simple as just stronger Haki equals W. Something that's not as obvious but still can play to the same argument, Luffy versus Caesar. Luffy at that time, post time skip, we know, had decent enough Haki, pretty good Haki actually, all three types, everything. He's Luffy. He was still defeated by Caesar. Yes, they would fight again and he would win. We know Caesar is a scientist, not really a combatant, but it still showed you, because of Devil Fruit power, Caesar a weaker opponent was still able to get a one-up on a stronger opponent in Luffy, even if temporarily. Still happened. Even in Wano, where Kaido would make the statement about Haki and Roger, we have Big Mom versus Law and Kid. Do we think Law and Kid have better Haki, even combined, than Big Mom? Because the answer to that question is no. So in the middle of a Yonko level battle, with someone who stood at the top of the verse for years in Big Mom, someone with top tier Haki, the deciding factor in that battle was still Devil Fruit and Devil Fruit's awakening. Kid and Law awakening of their Devil Fruit is what led them to be able to take down the behemoth in Big Mom. And that is not to be overlooked. She still had better Haki. She still had her own Devil Fruit. In that battle, Devil Fruits took front page over Haki. And last but definitely not least, even in Luffy versus Kaido, the fight where the statement about Haki was made, the turning point for Luffy was a Devil Fruit awakening, with him becoming Sun God Nika. And yes, he had to fuse that with Haki, making a combination, which I really think is the key. We know Whitebeard, the world's strongest man, even in Marineford when he was old and sick, Sengoku still saying he's able to destroy the world, which I think was primarily due to his Devil Fruit, because in Marineford, old, he didn't have much Haki. Rayleigh told us as you get older, Haki wanes just a little bit, and he didn't seem to have much use of Haki in Marineford. There are a few instances where it seemed like he tried to, and it just wasn't happening for him. But he still had the Devil Fruit power in full effect, and that alone still gave him the ability to be able to destroy the world, at least according to Sengoku. So in this battle between Luffy and Kaido, going back to Bajran Gun, which is a perfect mix of Gear 5 Devil Fruit with all type of Haki infused into it. We got Rio, Conqueror's Coding, the whole 9 yards. But it's still a very mixed bag of Haki and Devil Fruit coming together. Roger was a different breed. He was Roger. And even then, he still had Whitebeard next to him, who was a Haki Devil Fruit user mix. But let's look at it this way. If we was to take the top 20 strongest people in One Piece ever, and to compile a list, how many of them are strictly Haki users, how many of them are strictly Devil Fruit users, and how many of them are combined of both and can do both at a high level, we'll see that the combination probably wins the list. Without too much debate, if we just to throw some names out there, we have Roger, sure, Haki, maybe top 1. I personally think Whitebeard was stronger. Whitebeard wasn't as ambitious and wanted to chase things like the Pirate King title and Poneglyph. Whitebeard, most people think is number 2, sits at in the middle with both Haki and the Devil Fruit. We had Shiki at the time that was somewhere up there. We know Devil Fruit. We would assume that at that level he would have to have Haki, even though I don't think that was ever actually fully stated, but I'm pretty sure we can all assume Shiki probably had Haki. There's Garp on the Haki side, Sengoku, Devil Fruit and Haki. Kaido would probably be somewhere on that list, even though he's a little younger than the aforementioned names, but Devil Fruit and Haki. Big Mom, Devil Fruit and Haki. Blackbeard, primarily Devil Fruit, Haki. So the image that's recently been painted online, like Haki is just way superior to Devil Fruit and there shouldn't be a conversation, I think it's completely false. There's definitely a conversation to be had. Depending on who's on the other side, if they have a Devil Fruit or not, what is the Devil Fruit, there's definitely a conversation to be had. You have to be like that. Outside of Roger, Shanks, Garp, Rayleigh, those are like the 4. There's 10 on the other side with top tier Devil Fruit and mediocre Haki that makes a list, or just top tier or both, and then it's just cheating the game. There's definitely more people of top tier Devil Fruits, and maybe he might have subpar Haki that's just being carried by devil fruits that made it farther than just primarily Haki users. Other than the absolute monsters who made it to the top, the four I basically just mentioned, the field is mostly primarily devil fruits or a mix of both. They ain't too many just pure Haki users strong enough to make it up there. So once again, is Haki superior to devil fruit? Or are they on the same level? Or is devil fruits actually still the top power system in One Piece?
Yeah. I know that you gon' say 'cause you need something real.